Canada, long celebrated for its quality of life and opportunities, finds itself at a crossroads. Despite positive economic indicators like a rise in gross domestic product and low unemployment rates, many Canadians feel a growing sense of unease and dissatisfaction. Why do so many believe the country is already in a recession, even as official reports tell a story of recovery? The answer lies not in numbers but in the day-to-day realities of living in a nation where the gap between economic indicators and personal experiences has never been wider. Income inequality is one of the driving forces behind this disconnect. The rich keep getting richer, leaving a growing number of people struggling just to get by. The middle class is feeling the squeeze, and for those at the bottom, it's a constant struggle just to stay afloat. High interest rates, meant to curb inflation, end up burdening those with debt, making it harder for them to afford essentials. How can a person feel optimistic about the economy when a significant portion of their income is swallowed by debt repayments? The housing market, once a symbol of Canada's prosperity, has turned into a source of despair for many. Homeownership has become a distant dream as prices have soared to staggering levels, especially in cities like Toronto and Vancouver. Even renting has become a financial nightmare, with costs eating up a large chunk of monthly earnings. This isn't just about numbers on a real estate report. It's about families feeling the weight of insecurity, constantly wondering how long they can keep up with rising costs. What happens to a society when its people can no longer afford to live where they work? Then there's the soaring cost of everyday necessities. Food and gas prices have climbed to the point where filling the car or buying groceries feels like a financial juggling act. Inflation has made even basic items feel like luxuries. It's not just the big-ticket purchases that hurt, it's the daily grind of watching prices inch up, of making choices between essential items, and of the creeping anxiety that comes with every trip to the store. Is it any wonder that so many Canadians feel left behind even as the economy is said to be recovering? Canada's vaunted healthcare system, once the pride of the nation, is also under strain. Long wait times, staffing shortages, and funding gaps have left many feeling abandoned by a system they once trusted. The promise of universal healthcare feels increasingly hollow when patients are caught in endless loops of referrals and delays. How can people feel secure about their future when even access to basic health services has become a source of stress? The job market adds another layer to this complex picture. Although official statistics may show a low unemployment rate, the reality for many is a job landscape that is increasingly unstable and precarious. Many of the available jobs are low-paying, part-time, or gig work that offer little in the way of security or benefits. For younger Canadians, especially those entering the workforce with student debt, finding stable, well-paying employment is an uphill battle. They're often faced with the paradox of needing experience to get a job, but needing a job to gain experience. What happens to the broader economy when a whole generation struggles to find its place within it? The younger generation, often seen as the hope for the future, is particularly disillusioned. Faced with rising student debt, uncertain job prospects, and the looming threat of climate change, many young Canadians are questioning their place in a society that seems to offer them fewer opportunities than it did to their parents. They're saddled with an economy that doesn't seem to work in their favor, and a world that feels increasingly unstable. What kind of future can they realistically expect when the present feels so precarious? Despite positive reports on the economy, the lived reality for millions of Canadians is one of financial strain and uncertainty. The big questions loom large. Why does everything feel so expensive? Why does it seem harder to get ahead, even for those who are working hard? And why does it feel like the promise of a comfortable, secure life in Canada is slipping away? These aren't just economic challenges. They're questions about the very fabric of Canadian society. They demand more than just policy tweaks or economic adjustments. They require a comprehensive approach that addresses not just the financial, but also the social and emotional aspects of what it means to live in Canada today. Without meaningful action, Canada risks losing not just its reputation as a land of opportunity, but the trust and hope of its people.